you for joining us. My name is John Perone, and I am a respiratory therapist at Kenmore Mercy, and I am one of the bargaining committee members for CWA 1133, representing our members and employees of Mercy Hospital, Kenmore Mercy Hospital, and St. Joseph's campus. For roughly the past 180 days, CWA 1133 has been diligently bargaining, and 1168, has been diligently bargaining for over 2,800 members, which includes our registered nurses, technicians and technologists, clerical and service employees in negotiations with Catholic Health. Our employees and members have true concerns, many of them the same unresolved concerns that we had 4 years ago when Mercy was on strike for 40 days. We have reached a point in the process in talks and in negotiations with Catholic Health where there is little to no movement related to fair wages, little respect for longevity and loyalty for our long-term employees, the inability for our members and clinicians to take paid time off that they've well deserved, security issues, as well as the importance of safe staffing. Catholic Health seems to think that it's completely acceptable to violate New York staffing laws. These laws are put into place to ensure that we are taking care of the community and our patients with the highest quality that our patients deserve. Last week, Catholic Health was placed on notice as our employees and members prepare to vote on whether to authorize a strike here at Mercy Hospital. This morning, you are going to hear from key representatives related to some of our concerns that we're facing, and I would like to start off with introducing Brian Magner, CWA 1133 President and Registered Nurse here at Mercy Hospital.
Thank you, John. Good morning, everybody. As John said, my name is Brian Magner, President of CWA Local 1133 here in South Buffalo. We have been in negotiations with Catholic Health for 6 months now, trying to reach an agreement on a new contract for our members at Mercy Hospital and associated offsites, Kenmore Mercy Hospital, and St. Joseph's Hospital. One of our biggest fights in this contract is staffing, just as it was in 2021. After being out on strike for 40 days in the fall of 2021, we secured groundbreaking contractual ratios not only for our nurses, but for technical and ancillary staff as well. Now the hospital is trying to roll back some of those ratios we fought for, even though that is how they currently staff the hospitals and are able to operate those departments today. Our technical employees, such as X-ray, CT, and MRI staff, are already being forced to work extra hours because of staffing not being met. In addition, Mercy Hospital is looking to open 2 additional units in the coming months when there is not sufficient staff for the floors that are currently open. That is why we are also fighting for language to make the hospital accountable to staff the hospital appropriately. Reducing the previously agreed upon ratios overworks the staff, causing job dissatisfaction, burnout, an increased chance of errors, and not being able to provide the care the patients in this community deserve. We have some wonderful representatives here with us today who are champions of the labor community, and I'd like to use them as an example. If they were to need hospitalization at one of the facilities we provide care at, the unit would receive a call from administration saying there was a VIP on the floor and to make sure the nurse taking care of that patient had a minimal assignment. The staffing proposal that we have made to Catholic Health would ensure that every patient that comes through the door is able to receive that VIP treatment from all departments. And we think that's something that would be a win for everyone involved. Our members should be able to take an uninterrupted break without having to worry about overburdening their coworkers by giving them twice as much work while they take their break. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. I'd like to introduce one of those champions that is fighting with us, Assemblyman Patrick Burke.
Thanks, John. Good to see you all. I wish it were under better circumstances. Listen, we're experiencing deja vu. 4 years ago, we were out here, we were fighting, we were at the table in an unreasonable labor negotiation. I believe it was 3 years before that, we did the same thing. I believe in the labor movement. I believe these labor actions are necessary and are good for the cause, but it's not good for our workers, and it's not good for this community. When I say us, of course I mean us in the labor movement and its allies, but I also mean the people who need care, the people who rely on you, that need you at your best and feeling confident and happy going into work. Allow a middle-aged man to make a football analogy real quick. I was watching ESPN, and the Dallas Cowboys were doing tough negotiations with their best player, Micah Parsons. And what ended up happening? Micah Parsons lost faith in his employer, and so he no longer wanted to play for them. We can't afford for our best healthcare workers to no longer want to work in this community. We need them to operate in good faith. I want you to know that the leaders in this community are with you and will fight with you. I know many of my friends in government are here, and we got your back. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Patrick. Next up is Kivana Neely, CWA 1133 Vice President and EKG Technician here at Mercy Hospital to talk about our fair wages.
Hello, everyone. In this healthcare industry, improving wages for healthcare workers such as us will help sustain our workforce. This is crucial for our hospital, our economic stability, and quality patient care. Fair wages aren't just a cause of doing business, but an investment in people. With the way everything is rising in costs, such as food, rent, fuel, health insurance, co-pays, childcare, and other necessities. Without a decent wage, this will force our employees to go and work at other organizations for better pay. Many workers throughout Catholic Health have to work 2 jobs, consistently work overtime, which leads to financial stress, employee burnout, absenteeism, and mental health struggles. The living wage in Buffalo is $21.88 for a single adult with no children. $39.76 for an adult with 1 child. Our lowest wage environmental services worker right now makes $16.11. Someone who has worked in EVS for 20 years within Catholic Health makes $19.65, which is still well below the living wage. I've heard of people leaving to make more money to go work at Dunkin' Donuts. These are people's lives. This is a prime example of how broken our healthcare system is and how Catholic Health refuses to do right by its employees. Quality patient care starts with workers who can afford to live. It boosts morale and self-worth. When employees are paid well, they are more likely to take pride in their work and go the extra mile. Fair and decent wages also tie into our recruitment and retention. If we are not competitive, we cannot retain staff, which will only make staffing even worse. Nickel and diming us doesn't save money in the long run. It costs Catholic Health more to dish out sign-on bonuses and train staff. Our members are very informed. They know what other hospitals get and what they are receiving. All we are asking is to be given a fair competitive wage so that we don't see our co-workers fleeing for better money elsewhere while patients in the hospital system suffer. Thank you.
Paid time off and extended sick leave are all benefits that we deserve but are unable to take due to staffing. Fred Rich, registered nurse from Kenmore Mercy, now presents.
Thanks, John. My testimonial is a little bit somber here, but I'll start off. I want to begin by recalling the morning of June 20th, 2025. It's the day that has stayed with me ever since. That morning, a fellow nurse called off from her shift. This wasn't unusual. She had called off before because she'd been dealing with a number of chronic personal and medical issues. But what happened next was, she called the supervisor back to say that, no, she couldn't take the day off. She didn't have, quote unquote, the time. So she needed to come in. I think the anxiety in that reversal said more than words could. Still later, she called again, and ultimately she did take that shift off. and she missed the remainder of her shifts that weekend. But no one heard from her. No one knew what was going on. So the following Monday, police and family performed a welfare check and found her deceased in her home. To be clear, I don't feel this was just a personal tragedy. It was a reflection of how unbearable the pressure had become. The pressure to show up even when unwell. This is why it's especially troubling to hear about changes to our contract being proposed by Catholic Health that would make our time and attendance policies more stringent and our extended leave time essentially inaccessible. These aren't just administrative shifts. These are changes that will directly and deeply impact the emotional, physical, and financial well-being of Catholic Health employees. The proposed requirement for employees to exhaust their own paid time off before being eligible for extended leave time means that someone facing a medical crisis or struggling with a mental health issue may be forced to use their hard-earned vacation and personal days just to access the care they need and pay their bills. The proposed restriction on extended leave time, such that it would only allow an employee to use it once per year, imposes a mechanism of control over something that is uncontrollable and unpredictable: life. These proposed changes are punitive, not protective. Additionally, the proposed tightening of attendance rules will surely create a culture of fear around taking any time off at all. And all of this sends a clear message. Your presence matters more than your health. And when that message is reinforced over and over again, it promotes silent suffering. It tells people to push through when they shouldn't, to show up when they're unwell, and to hide what they're going through. We know this because we've seen it, we've lived through it, and if these policies are implemented, we will see it again. Not because we are weak, but because the system keeps asking us to be superhuman. We are the staff that carried this system through the darkest days of the COVID-19 pandemic, who came in every day despite the fear, the risk, and the heartbreak. We are the same staff who stayed through the short staffing crisis, who picked up extra shifts, who did more with less, who never stopped showing up for our patients and for each other. We have worked side by side with leadership to achieve and maintain the magnet designation at Kenmore Mercy Hospital, along with an impressive run of leapfrog A ratings and every other accolade that has come along to this system. We ask that they recognize that. We ask that they honor that, because none of those achievements happened in spite of us. They happened because of us. And we don't need harsher policies. We need support. We don't need restrictions and red tape. We need respect. And we need the freedom to take care of ourselves the same way we're expected to care for others, because that is the right way to care. Thank you.
Next up is Heather Lawrence. Heather has been with Catholic Health for 26 years. She is going to speak to you today about the importance of respect, dignity, and the overall treatment of our long-term employees. Heather?
Thank you, Jen, and thank you all for being here today. My name is Heather Lawrence, and I am the Area Vice President for CWA Local 1168. I represent healthcare workers in Catholic Health at St. Joe's campus. I am a registered nurse. I have been a loyal, dedicated employee at St. Joe's for over 25 years. The average age of a nurse today is 46 years old, and 1/4 of current nurses plan to leave or retire over the next 5 years. Statistics say that 17% of nurses entering the profession now will quit within their first year, and a whopping 56% will leave within their first 5 years. That being said, I'd like to recognize those who embody resilience and commitment. These are the healthcare workers who have devoted their lives to serving others, often at great personal sacrifice. Their longevity in this profession speaks volumes about their loyalty and unwavering dedication. Every day we step into the unknown. We face challenges that many cannot imagine. We soothe the anxious, we heal the sick, provide comfort to those at their most vulnerable. Our work is not just a job, it is a calling. And this calling comes with great sacrifice that is often overlooked. Many of us have remained loyal for years, even decades, yet our compensation does not always reflect our value. We deserve to be recognized for our hard work, dedication, loyalty, and our commitment. I am speaking today on behalf of every healthcare worker that we represent and every single job title that makes us whole. Together, we are the backbone of our healthcare system. Our loyalty deserves recognition and respect, and it's about time we honor that, and we ask Catholic Health to stand up and do the same. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. Today we are joined by some amazing, well-admired public servants who believe in the importance of community and simply taking care of people just like we do every day at all three of our hospitals. Next, I'd like to introduce Lisa Chimera, who serves as the Deputy Erie County Executive. Lisa has served on the Health and Human Services Committee and realizes the importance of quality of care of our frontline caregivers and what patients deserve. Lisa?
Thank you. So it's kind of unbelievable. Yesterday we celebrated Labor Day, a federal holiday that honors the social and economic contributions of American workers and the labor movement. It is a day where we celebrate and recognize their hard work and the struggles for better working conditions. Yet here we are, the day after Labor Day, and the struggle continues. Struggles for a just and fair contract for workers that guide and care for people and create a safe environment for individuals that are in need of care. Sometimes this is caring for individuals who are experiencing the most difficult time in their life. Let me take a few moments to talk about both my parents who were in urgent need of care last year. Both of my parents spent a great deal of time at Kenmore Mercy Hospital. I wish I had the time to talk about each individual person that cared for my parents. From the moment we entered Kenmore Mercy Hospital, until the moment we left, whether it was scheduling them for testing or testing, follow-up appointments, caring for them in the hospital, or ensuring that Kenmore Mercy was running efficiently, they were all incredible. And I want to take a moment right now to thank each and every one of them. Please, thank you. They worked long hours and they ensured that all of my parents' needs were being met. But let me share some additional things they did. They ensured that my parents' room was comfortable for both them and for us, going above and beyond to make sure the chair was perfect, the pillow was perfect. They spent countless hours on the phone with me, with follow-up appointments and answering any question that I had. They held my parents' hands when they were ultra busy and when my parents were very, very afraid. They took time to explain things. They treated my parents with compassion and dignity. They went above and beyond for my parents and for our family. Catholic Health should understand the experience that is created by their workforce. Catholic Health should understand that they have a workforce that cares for the patient and the entire family during their darkest days. And understanding means compensating and ensuring fair wages, competitive benefits, and safe staffing levels. Again, thank you to all that cared for my parents and my family, and let's get this done. Our families are counting on it.
Great job. I would also like to introduce Sean Ryan, who represents the 61st Senate District. As an assemblyman, Sean has championed many different issues, including creating a fair economy for all, which includes fair compensation of labor, access to jobs with living wages, and a dignified work environment, all of which we are fighting for our members. Welcome, Sean Ryan.
What a beautiful day it is today in Buffalo. So happy to be here, to be happy out in the sun. Could be rainy, could be windy, so this is a good day. So every year in the state budget, whether I was an assembly member or a senator, we fought hard to make sure health care dollars were coming into Buffalo. And each and every year we get more health care dollars coming into Buffalo, which then means it goes to the hospital systems. But that's where we lose control. Like, we get the money in, and then we trust that the healthcare systems, people like Catholic Health, organizations like Catholic Health, would engage in high road economic principles, where they care about patient care, but they also view the people who care for the patients as important entities. They don't just view staff as a financial liability. Instead, they view staff as providing the vital services. The staff who are professionals, who care deeply about caring for patients and setting up a culture within the hospitals where patient care comes first. Care, comfort, dealing with families. And the workers in Catholic Health, they do that every single day. But you can't have Catholic Health without a workforce. You can't have a good, competitive Catholic Health if other places in the county and in the area pay more for the same jobs. So we've been down this path before with Catholic Health. Just 4 years ago, there was a strike, prolonged labor disagreements. I had hoped that we were past that. I had hoped that Catholic Health was going to set up a new page of dealing with their employees. There's still time to do that, but in the interim, I'm here to make it 100% clear is that I'm on the side of the people who provide care in the hospital, and those are the people behind me. And I will work with these folks, with the CWA, with the other unions who are here in support to make sure that the workers in Catholic Health get the deal that they deserve. Because unless they're a happy workforce, unless they're a competitive workforce, we are not going to get the patient outcomes we want. The healthcare outcomes are tied 100% to the workforce. So we have a lot of time to go. Keep pushing hard at the table, but know where me and any other elected stands in this community. We stand with you.
Thank you, Sean. We'd like to thank the others that have joined us. Jeremy Zellner, who's the ECDC chair, Rob and Emily from Congressman Kennedy's, and Kevin Hartwick, who is also here, as well as everyone else. Thanks to all those who have come together, for our members and our employees of Mercy Hospital, Kenmore Mercy Hospital, and St. Joseph's Campus. Our bargaining committee will continue to work diligently to find resolution and achieve a fair contract with Catholic Health with no concessions, dignity and respect while performing our job duties, competitive wages and benefits, and most of all, save staffing for our patients. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. We will take any questions that you have. Great question, Brian.
I think one of the big things that we got in the last contract was the staffing ratios, which was kind of groundbreaking for New York State, with having them not only for nurses but for other staff in the hospital as well. What we're trying to get right now is keep those staffing levels or improve on them so that nurses and other staff can take breaks without having to worry about doubling another coworker's patient load. We're also trying to get staffing enforcement language in the contract so that if the hospitals do not meet the requirements, there would be penalties involved with that. Well, we bargain for the whole hospital, not just the nurses. So we have to make sure that everybody has a fair wage, not just nurses. And in addition to that, with the amount of concessions that are on the table with other issues, the increase that the nurses would see would cancel out with having to pay increased co-pays on both medical procedures and medications. I'm not sure what the most recent proposal is, but I know there was an instance where you would only be able to use your extended sick leave once per year. So if you were to have multiple issues in the same year, you would not be able to use your extended sick bank, which means you would only be eligible for disability payments.
All right, thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much.